just had this random thought, just kind of like whatever. You can feel free to pick me up on this shit, you know, tell me about it or whatever. Cause I don't read the light novel series, but I was just watching the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. If you haven't watched it, season 1, great. Season 2, the movie, fucking fantastic. Holy shit, the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya, fuck me, great fucking movie. But I was watching that series, right, and I remember Kozumi saying a line, I don't know if it was, you know, word for word, but something along the lines of, I've already looked into you, and don't worry, you're an ordinary human. This is Kozumi saying this to Kyon. And I thought about it, I'm just kind of, okay, Kyon, that's why, you know, he's the abnormality in this situation, because he's the normal guy amongst a god, an alien, a time traveler, and an esper. I'm just like, okay, that's supposed to be the plot of the show. It's kind of dope, you know what I'm saying? He's a regular guy, but at the same time, he is the one that's thrown in the abnormal situations, and not Haruhi, the one who actually believes and wants all the shit to happen, right? So then I started thinking, I'm just kind of like, okay, that's kind of cool. Kyon is the regular guy, Haruhi's the god, blah, blah, blah. And then I started watching season 2, and there was an episode, I think it was episode 2 or 3, where Mikuru has to take Kyon into the past. He has to do something in the past. She has to take him to the past in order for something to be done. And then Mikuru gets put to sleep by the older Mikuru or whatever, and she explains to Kyon what's going on, what it has to do with blah, 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 blah. And then Kyon meets up with a 12-year-old Haruhi as she's about to fucking break into the middle school that she goes to, and she's using the chalk liner to write a message. And that's something that was said in the first season. I remember that. That's why she was known to be this weird girl, because she wrote this message in chalk in the school field for like aliens, and everyone saw it, and she said that she did it. And that's the focus of her weirdness. That's how everyone knew kind of who she was, because once she said some crazy shit, and then all the stories about her past started to creep up, and that was one of them. But it turns out that Kyon was the one that did that. If you see the episode, Kyon was the one who actually wrote the message down. Haruhi stood there and bossed him around, but he was the one who actually did it. And at the same time, I remember, I think all 3 of them at one point, I'm assuming it was Nagato, said that an explosion of data happened 3 years prior to the current date now. This was like when she was first meeting Kyon. This was when they first introduced themselves to one another, and she introduced herself as the data thought process entity, whatever the fuck it is. But she said that an explosion of data happened 3 years ago, you know. And I'm thinking to myself, that's when Kyon met Haruhi 3 years ago. There is no mentioning of her having this godlike power more than 3 years. You see what I'm saying? Like, prior to that, prior to her being 12, that shit wasn't there. It didn't manifest itself until Kyon showed up. So I'm like, is he normal? Is he a regular dude? I know we're supposed to believe that. And again, I don't read the light novel, so if they have explained that shit, then you can explain it to me too. But is he normal? Because it seems like her powers don't work until he shows up, because there was no weird shit happening up until that point either. Like, the weird shit exploded in 3 years prior to the main storyline, and then not at all in that timeline until the main storyline happened again. See what I'm saying? Like, they were monitoring her fucking progress. They were monitoring the situation, and nothing happened until she met Kyon again in high school. That's when all the shit started to happen. Now, I know for the purposes of the series, that's how it had to happen, because Kyon is the main character. But what I'm saying is, according to the logic of that show, her powers don't manifest or work until his character is introduced into her life. So is he normal? Is he the quote-unquote normal human that he's led to be? I mean, that we are led to believe that he is. Or is he the catalyst for her godlike powers? Because I remember the opening narration for the series, he said that he wanted to believe in that shit that she believes in too. But he realized at a young age that this shit not real, so he just kind of said, fuck it. But at one point he did believe in it. So, is he normal? Is he human? Or are they both the catalyst that need to be in each other's lives in order for this weird shit to happen? Because it wasn't until after he met her that Nagato and Koizumi and Mikuru all came into this plane. And they didn't show up again until 3 fucking years later when he met her again. So if you guys can explain that shit to me, I would be grateful as fuck. Because I've been thinking about this shit for like a month now. I just been sitting out thinking like, what the fuck, is he normal? I've been trying to rewatch the shit to see if like there's any fucking indication that he did something abnormal. I don't want to jump into the light now because, you know, fuck all that. But I was just tripping. I really was tripping. But let me know, man. I could be wrong. I could just be a complete fucking moron. But let me know, man. VashTheKyd.